Imagine this for a moment. You finally do it. After decades of work, sacrifice, skipped vacations, and late nights, you make that final mortgage payment. 30 years of responsibility behind you. The bank no longer owns your house. You do, except you don't, because every single year after that, another bill arrives, not from a lender, from the government. Miss enough of those payments, and the house you supposedly own can still be taken away. No foreclosure, no bank, just taxes. In practice, it means the home never truly becomes yours. You're just leasing it year by year. Now here's what makes 2025 different. 5 U.S. states are no longer debating small fixes. They're not talking about deductions, caps, credits, or temporary relief. They're discussing something far more radical: complete property tax elimination. Zero, not reduced. Not frozen, gone. And one of these states already has an $11.5 billion reserve position to make it happen. But before we get to that, we need to start where property tax loss isn't theoretical, it's routine. Number 5, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania looks peaceful on the surface. Rolling hills, historic stone farmhouses, towns where families stay for generations. These are places where people expect to grow old and pass their homes down. Yet every year, roughly 10,000 Pennsylvanians lose their homes, not because they defaulted on a mortgage, because they couldn't keep up with property taxes. That's nearly 200 homes every single week. The core issue is funding. Pennsylvania relies on property taxes for close to half of all public school revenue, one of the highest dependencies in the country. For decades, lawmakers argued that removing property taxes would destroy education funding, so nothing changed. Until now, in 2025, lawmakers introduced House Bill 1649 and Senate Bill 962, proposing something unprecedented in the state's history: eliminating school property taxes entirely. Forever, instead of taxing homes, the plan shifts the burden outward: slightly higher sales taxes and modest local income taxes spread across the population, rather than concentrated on homeowners alone. Supporters argue it prevents families from losing homes over a single bad year, a medical emergency, job loss, or unexpected expense. Critics warn of transition risks. Either way, Pennsylvania has crossed a line it avoided for decades, seriously considering removal instead of reform. If you want clear, no-hype breakdowns of housing and tax changes like this, subscribe to Tax Hack Pro. This is exactly what we cover. Number 4. Texas. Texas sells itself on freedom from income taxes, and for years that drew millions of new residents. But many newcomers learned something the hard way. Texas funds nearly everything through property taxes. No income tax sounds great until you realize property taxes quietly take its place. Even modest homes can carry annual tax bills of $6,000 to $8,000 year after year, indefinitely. For retirees and fixed-income households, that pressure compounds fast. In late 2025, Texans responded decisively. Voters approved a major ballot measure with nearly 80% support, dramatically raising homestead exemptions and delivering immediate savings to homeowners. So far, Texas has spent over $51 billion on property tax relief, the largest effort of its kind in U.S. history. But relief isn't elimination. Bills still arrive, values still rise, payments never stop. That's why Governor Greg Abbott has gone further, openly calling for complete elimination of school property taxes for homeowners, placing the decision directly in voters' hands in 2026. Texas isn't done yet. It's building momentum towards something much bigger. Number 3, Florida. Florida's argument cuts straight to the philosophical core of property ownership. Governor Ron DeSantis has asked publicly, if you pay off your home but still owe the government every year just to live there, do you truly own it? Florida lawmakers are now advancing multiple constitutional amendments aimed at dramatically reducing, or outright removing, property taxes on primary residences. The most aggressive proposal would eliminate non-school property taxes on homesteads starting in 2027. This is no minor adjustment. Property taxes account for over 1/3 of Florida's local revenue, funding essential services like fire protection, policing, and infrastructure. Supporters say homeowners are suffocating. Opponents warn of service cuts and rising home prices. Economists estimate full elimination could raise home values 7–9%, helping current owners while potentially locking out first-time buyers. Florida voters will decide in 2026, and the outcome could redefine property ownership nationwide. Number 2, Ohio. Ohio's movement didn't start in a legislature. It started in a living room. One homeowner opened her tax assessment and saw a 51.9% jump in a single year. No renovations, no market miracle, just reassessment. That shock sparked conversations, which turned into organization, which turned into a grassroots effort to rewrite the state constitution. The goal: eliminate property taxes entirely through a voter-led amendment. To get on the ballot, organizers must collect 413,000 verified signatures by July 1, 2025. No extensions, no margin for error. They're already well underway, without corporate backing, without political machines, just volunteers and frustration. Critics say it's reckless. Supporters say the system already is. Ohio shows what happens when taxpayers feel ignored for too long. Number 1, North Dakota. North Dakota stands alone, not because of promises, but because of cash. The state's legacy fund, built from oil and gas revenue, holds $11.5 billion and generates hundreds of millions annually in earnings alone. Governor Kelly Armstrong unveiled what may be the most realistic path to zero property taxes in America. Instead of sudden elimination, his plan phases it out using fund earnings, starting with expanded homeowner credits, growing year by year, until large portions of homeowners pay nothing at all. No tax hikes, no service cuts. No budget chaos, just replacement funding that already exists. North Dakota voters rejected elimination once before, but that plan lacked funding. This one doesn't. If any state actually crosses the finish line first, North Dakota is the frontrunner. 5 states, 5 strategies. Some are fighting foreclosures, some are spending billions, some are heading to the ballot box. And one is quietly using oil money to rewrite the rulebook. Property taxes are no longer a side issue. They're becoming a national pressure point. The real question isn't if property taxes start disappearing, it's where it happens first. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this helped you understand where housing and tax policy are really heading, subscribe to Tax Hack Pro. We break this down every week clearly, honestly, and without noise. See you in the next one.